Hello there, everyone. Okay, so Sam the man is here once again, and yeah, I said it at the end of the last part. We are going to do some quick mail traveling or mail trolling. That's probably the correct phrase. So yeah, we've got quite a bit, 11 and 7. So let's just get through those, and then we'll get on to our first mission of the new section. So. For those of you who don't watch it, I'll put a timestamp on the screen. In the meantime, here we go. Let's go down to the Mountaineer. So this one was pretty simple. It was just basically saying, yes, we want an order for the Spiritualist. Okay. The Photographer. Dad would be proud. Can I just check something a second? I think I might have my audio on the wrong thing. Very descriptive. No, it's in headphones. I was just worried in case I was playing it out of my speakers. Alright, so, the photographer. I was right about the camera. I'm told the pictures I took are incredible. You see, the paintings of whales and dolphins I discovered in those caves might have been painted by Neanderthals. I don't really understand the significance of it all, but it's definitely what my father was looking for. I don't think I've ever been so happy in my entire life, and it's all because of you. Dad would be happy too, I'm sure of it. Thank you so much. I know I nearly gave my mom a heart attack, but this proves it was worth it in the end, right? I made a difference for once, and I can do it again. There may be other secrets of the Death Stranding hidden nearby. I'll be more careful this time, though. But I have to get back out there and find them. I'll be in touch when I do. The Novelist's Son. Gourds are like Noah's Ark. Mr. Sam Bridges. How many times is that now? I've lost count. I tell you though, I've grown so many gourds I don't know what to do. Every day I see more and more of those funny little shapes popping into existence. Warms my heart just to look at them. Remember the story of Noah's Ark? I'll bet you didn't know that there's a very similar tale in the Far East. It tells of a huge storm and an even bigger flood that followed. Seeing this, a man told his son and daughter to hide inside a pair of gourds. The flood grew greater and more terrible, and everyone died, except those two children, from whom we are all descended. So you see, gourds can save the world. And I do mean the world, not just America. I'm looking forward to giving you some come harvest time. Again, I apologise if this accent insults anyone whenever it pops out. The Collector. We can't go back to how things were. I know I mustn't sit around pining for the days of old. Much as I may lament its passing, print was already as good as dead when I was born. We can't go back, and therefore must do our best to live in the present, which is why I've decided to join the UCA. Okay, so... Yep, sorry you missed that, folks. The Chiral network is a marvel. There's no denying it. I understand that it can even be used to send physical objects now, after a fashion, and transmission is instantaneous. What more could we ask for? But we must still call upon strapping porters such as yourself to transport medicines, food, and other organic goods. So it seems we cannot do without you just yet. But if the two halves of this equation can be balanced with one another, the UCA's future may indeed be bright. Right, two things I just want to do. I want to turn my fan on because it is still hot in here. And I want to drink because it is hot in here. Okay. It's really not helping the weather with all this. I thought to myself, after I'd finished doing my last game, I wanted to just come on to something for you guys completely new, but for me, not so new. But boy, it's taking time to record it, and the heat isn't helping. Alright, Philip Nord. Philip North. Sam, I heard you took care of the terrorists in this area. Oh yeah, okay, so that's because I took out the Homo demons. Alright, we'll skip that. So, the Doctor, connections keep us alive. The medical terminal and bioprinter appear to be functioning as intended. The Mountaineer's wife should now be able to receive the treatment she needs, thank goodness. Did you know that it was my better half who designed both these devices? The medical terminal uses a hologram technology, and the bioprinter was built upon existing chiral printer tech. The difference, of course, being that this model can be used to synthesize medicines and organic compounds. My partner used to enjoy life in the city. She worked as a researcher there. But when I proposed moving out here to provide medical care for preppers, she was happy to follow me. How fortunate for us all, as preppers cannot survive in complete isolation, and neither can I. There's not much of a point in being in a medical profession if you've no one to tend to. Indeed, we need to forge and maintain connections of all kinds, and that's just what you're helping us to do, with your deliveries and by expanding the Carol network. Make no mistake, the bonds between us make us stronger, but you already knew that, didn't you? Ironic, Sam probably didn't. The photographer's mother, following in her father's footsteps. Dear Sam, you've done more for my family than you can ever know. It is a tremendous comfort to know that my husband didn't die in vain, especially since it seems his work was so important. My daughter has her heart set on doing even more, though. She says she's going to investigate further. Proud as I am, though, the thought of her putting herself in danger yet again is... Well, let's just say I'm a little conflicted. But I expect a man like you would call that being selfish. Forgive me. The last thing you need is me burdening you with my worries. You be careful out there, you hear? You see, I find mail like this quite interesting because we didn't get a peep off her, and if I recall, we don't get a peep off her. She hasn't got a voice artist. So you look and you think, they've obviously scanned someone's face. I don't know who she is, but they didn't give her a voice line, but they have given her a character. It's interesting. Alright. The Mountaineer. Yeah, so this is about the whiteout. Essentially, the heavy snow we saw on the way to the Spiritualist. Limited visibility is not the only issue with whiteout, you know. You lose spatial awareness and you can't gauge distances. So use your map to plot your destination, and this will show up when you use your Odredex cargo scanner. Alright, pretty much everything I did. The Mountaineer. We had a boy. And do you have power gloves? That sounds like a very weird subject line. I think the first bit was more important. Big news, Sam. We've just welcomed a new life into the world. A baby boy. Both him and the missus are doing fine. I don't know why he doesn't strike me as someone who's saying missus. Anyway, in fact, they're sleeping peacefully next to me as I write this message. I know you're a busy man though, so I won't go on and on about us. Besides, there's something else I've been meaning to tell you. I don't want to be presumptuous, and I know you're the best porter there is, but even you must have found it tough making up deliveries up in these snowy mountains, right? Well, have you tried using power gloves? Okay, so we'll skip that. Yeah, so, you know, I've got a feeling you're going to be a real role model for my boy when he's older. Of course, it's down to all of us, myself included, to make the world a better place for him and future generations. I know you feel the same. Let's not let him down, Sam. Alright, the first prepper. Good to meet you at last. It was so good to see you the other day, Sam. You wouldn't believe how long I've been waiting to meet you. Thanks for delivery too. You know, I think it was over a decade ago when I first heard rumours about you. You're the most famous porter there is. Matter of fact, I'm kinda well known myself. In the prepper world, that is. After all, my grandfather's grandfather's grandfather was living the shelter life back before most anybody even knew what a shelter was. Yeah, that's right. I'm a 7th gen prepper. One of the first prepper family. The originals, as it were. Now, who got that kind of pedigree pumping through their veins? Me, myself, and nobody else. My stuff contained more concentrated prepper wisdom than the rest of these amateurs will ever scrape together. Now, don't get me wrong, I've got nothing against porters, but if you think I want anything to do with this so-called country, you've got another thing coming. I bet you feel the same sometimes, right? Well, how about it? How about ditching the Bridges gig and joining up with us? Alright. So you don't want to be connected to people, but you're welcoming Salmon, even though he's the people you don't like. Okay. Aranil. Recovery request. Dead man's stuff. Sorry to bother you, Sam. I know you must be busy. I wonder if you could go and fetch a few of the things off Dead Man's. You remember the cabin you arranged to meet us at, right? Or arranged to meet at, right? Well, the cabin itself got blown away by the supercell, but Dead Man's winter coat and boots should be somewhere nearby. Funny he wasn't wearing them. Could you go pick them up and bring them to Mountain Knot City? It's standard issue Bridges kit, but in a custom-made size. You can take the order up at the terminal, blah, blah, blah. I know, another day, another errand. So yeah, no one else can do what you do. You realise that, don't you? Well, we'll do that, but it certainly feels like busy work, I'll be honest. Alright, so we've got 7 interviews, I think, to read. Maybe one of them's memory chip? Okay. When I'm doing this, I just keep saying, have a drink when you can. Alright. Cave Paintings and Stencils by Heartman, 1 year ago. Heartman doesn't half have a lot to say. I mean, you go through this half of them at Heartman. Cave paintings provide an invaluable window into the lives of our ancestors, how they lived, what they experienced. Some have been preserved here on our continent, although most have sadly been lost in void outs. The oldest cave paintings of all are believed to date back 64,800 years or more. But all of these are, or perhaps were, in Europe. What's become of them, I wonder? Have they too been obliterated in annihilation events? If not, are the caves contained them now infested with BTs? Does Europe still exist even? One can help but worry that these vital records have been forever lost to us. But I digress. These first paintings were likely made by the Neanderthals. They were crude depictions of creatures such as deer, bison, and horses, interspersed with stenciled outlines of large hands. Some assert these are the signatures of primeval painters, but could they not also be depictions of BT handprints? Could our ancient relatives have been trying to tell us something, or issue a warning? Or is that perhaps one flight of fancy too far? I mean, I've got no idea if any of this is true. But if this is actually true and Hideo's picked up on this, then that is a very good line to draw. I might have to have a little Google of that. Alright, so prepper interview, the photographer. By the way, I do say Hideo, but I assume the devs play a part as well. It's just, it does seem like this was his baby. So I apologise for neglecting some of the other devs. Alright, so prepper interview, the photographer. 1 year ago. Oh, and this photographer's mother. Okay, I'm glad I read that bit. It wasn't that long ago that we moved to this shelter, the three of us. Before that, we used to live in the city, until my husband up and said we had to leave. He was so insistent, and I didn't have any choice but to go along with it. I couldn't take care of our daughter by myself. He said he was sick of city life, and I can't say I don't understand at all. I mean, timefall may not have been an issue or BTs, but I can see how a safe and comfortable life might become suffocating. Our daughter might be happy and healthy, but we're the exception. Hardly anyone's even having children these days. You don't need a crystal ball to see where the world's headed. My husband said we're bound for extinction. Says nobody's doing anything about it. People'd rather stick their heads in the sand and try to wait out the storm. If we don't figure out the Death Stranding and fix this world of ours, that's all she wrote. My husband says that a lot. That maybe he's just a guy with a camera, but at least he's doing something, and so on. He's out again somewhere, investigating something. Recently started taking our daughter with him, teaching her to take photos of rocks and murals and the like. I'm glad they're spending time together, and I know it's good for her education, but I still hate it when they go out and leave me here to wait and pray that they come home safe and sound. I don't like to be judgy in these things, but that sound a bit selfish, but assuming she was old enough. Saying that though, even if she was young, that still sounds rough. It'd probably be better if all three of them were going, but maybe the mother didn't want to go, so therefore she takes blame as well. But again, that's me definitely judging, so. Alright, the spiritualist. This is 1 year ago. No one has been able to explain the Death Stranding, and I doubt that anyone ever will. Certainly not with science. Science is only suitable for observation, measurement, objectivity. You can observe and measure as much as you like, but it will bring you no closer to an understanding. Sometimes you need to expand your mind and hope in your art. Seek the souls of the dead. Listen for the waves on the beach. In antiquity, there were no barriers between the realms. People moved freely between the earth, outer space, and the world of the dead. What are myths and legends if not records of these journeys? My research has only confirmed this. The pyramids of Egypt and Mesoamerica, the Nazca lines, Stonehenge, all gateways built by humans in order to access the beach. Surely you can see that the wisdom of the ancients has never been more relevant. The people of Bridges would do well to remember that. Interesting that with Stonehenge. I know that there's theories about that in the real world, but I could believe it as well with the pyramids of Egypt. There's always like speculation, well not speculation, but what's the phrase? Conspiracy theories that it is like aliens and all that stuff. I like that they touch on it, because I can imagine people would think about it. Alright, so we've got 3 here. From the report on the void out in Manhattan. from recorder unknown, recording date and time unknown, where unknown. Who the hell? Those were the doctor's final words. At the time, no one knew to whom he was referring, and to be fair, there were more pressing issues at hand. The doctor in question was a surgeon specialising in caesarean sections. The procedure he was undertaking at the time, however, was slightly unusual, in that he was operating on a mother who had been declared brain dead 7 months into her pregnancy. She had been placed on life support, but since her blood pressure was decreasing and the fetus was showing signs of bradycardia, the decision was made to operate. Because the procedure was broadcast to medical researchers on a closed-circuit network, we are fortunate to have a record of what took place. Per the footage, the incision was made without incident. The plan was apparently to remove the fetus from the womb and immediately place it into an NICU, where it would receive the necessary care. Prior to this, the surgeon would of course have to cut the umbilical cord. This is the moment that changed everything. The moment the surgeon's hands touched the cord. In that instant, he uttered his infamous last words, "Who the hell?" Okay. So again, recorder, recording date and time, where, all unknown. Following a number of tests and experiments, the conclusion was reached that this incident was an annihilation event brought about by the doctor's contact with whatever, or whomever, he had seen upon touching the umbilical cord. Though it eventually became apparent that the doctor had been referring to BTs, at the time no one could explain the underlying cause of the incident. Some later theorised that if the same conditions, brain dead mother, fetus, umbilical cord, could be recreated, then BTs could be detected and the mystery of the death stranding would be solved. Indeed, this was the theoretical basis upon which the government's own experiments and investigations would be conducted. They called the fetuses they used bridge babies, and the experiments became known as the BB experiments. Soon after the government's programme got underway, the tragedy of Manhattan occurred. Again, part 3, same unknowns. The BB experiments were conducted at a Manhattan-based government facility in such extreme secrecy that little is known about them to this day. One thing that we do know for certain, however, is that the experiments ended in tragic failure and were directly responsible for the total annihilation of the Highland of Manhattan, as well as the death of the president, who had been observing operations firsthand. He was succeeded by then Vice President Bridget Strand, who shortly after her inauguration put an end to all further BB experiments and had all data destroyed. With her strong and steadfast leadership in the wake of the void out, she made great strides in quelling the chaos and unrest that spread throughout the nation. She vowed to rebuild America and devoted herself wholeheartedly to this end. In response, separatists who opposed Reconstruction emerged and steadily grew more aggressive in their activities. One faction even managed to acquire documents relating to the BB experiments, and some speculate that this data was used to restart them in secret. At that time, however, no BB units are known to have been successfully created, and BBs in general remained a taboo subject in government circles. So this is mostly what we'd heard, I believe. I might be mistaken. I think this is something that Deadman called up about once, but I may be misremembering that. So not too, that last one anyway, not too surprising. Alright, memory chips. I think the only one we've got is for a bike here with a Kawasaki Z1 900 Super 4. It was an export-orientated model created with Kawasaki in 1972 with the aim of capturing the foreign markets. It was the first Kawasaki and indeed the first Japanese bike to use the DOHC 903 CM3 air-cooled inline 4-cylinder engine, and its ferocious speed made it the undisputed king of the highway. It was also admired for its beautiful design, with the pipes leading from the gas tank and pushing back through the side covers to the tail section. It's a model beloved of porters chasing the fastest speeds possible, having established Kawasaki as the go-to for full throttle riding as it did. Okay. Hold on. Just 20 minutes of time there. Alright, so I think we are all done here. That kind of wants to tell me about some stuff that I don't really care about. Let's just quickly check in on Lou. How you doing, kid?
Tired, huh?
Don't know why. not being cruel there. I'm just thinking Luce had a pretty easy time the last 2 days, whereas I've just been sleeping off that incident.
Can I help you? Holy shit. John, is that you?
What are you doing here?
My wife's checked in. They don't want to repeat of last year.
I'm so sorry. I didn't know you were.
Okay, let's go collect our order.
Sam, the west side of that region is covered by a massive tar belt. Beyond it is Edgenot City, the last bastion of civilization you'll find that far out. It's your final destination. Once you use the Cupid to connect it, the chiral network will span the entire continent. The rebirth of America is so close. And remember, that's where Amelie is being held captive. We need you to bring her home safely. But before you cross the tar belt, there's one more knot we need you to tie. Heartman will help you get it done.
Sam, I'd like for you to bring me a few things. First, the dog tags you took from that soldier. Tuck them away in a pocket so you don't misplace them. Second, Mama's corpse. Her body shows no signs of necrosis, and I, for one, would like very much to know the reason why. Closer study may yield information that could prove instrumental in helping us to overcome the death stranding. Suffice it to say, 1 minute remaining. I don't have much time. See to your preparations. I'll be waiting. You'll find an official order on the terminal.
Does make me chuckle. I still have the orders. You know, it's like we could just say, yeah, I'll come and hook you up, but there has to be an order. So, orders for Sam. We've got corpse delivery of Mama, and we've got the recovery of some winter clothes for Deadman. I'm going to go into my private locker first because I think that's more efficient at this point. So we're not doing anything with these. Might as well just come back for these later. Let's pop these onto the suit. You know, I'm saying that. Surely I've got some others. Apparently not. Okay, well, we're going to want the all-terrain skeleton. So let's equip that. What else do we need? Let's have some PCCs, some floating carriers. Don't know if I need the blood bags. Let me have a look. Yeah, it looks like I need them. A lot of used stuff there. Right, carry on back, auto range. I think we're going to be okay from there. Even though it's used, I would like to put the high capacity one in my utility pouch, just in case I can replenish it. And similarly, I'm thinking matic grenades. If I can, I will carry them there. But I think I have got stuff in my grenade pouch. Although for some reason it won't let me put them in. Maybe because they're used? Oh well, never mind if that's the case. Alright. Because we still got to fabricate a few things. So orders, Heartman's lab, let's go. So, for this one, we have actually got half the job done. That zip line that I don't particularly like because it takes us away from the doctor. That is actually the direction we're going. So we don't really need to worry about PCCs, even though I've got some. We'll take a container repair spray just in case it's helpful later down the road. You know what? I am actually going to take a ladder as well. There's a simple reason for that I'll explain nearer the time. We won't need any guns here but I'm tempted to get some for later. I think we'll be okay, actually. Just thinking it through. We're not going to take vehicles. It'd be more of a hindrance. So yeah, we're all good. Yep, no vehicles. And load stall on back. And we don't even need to organise. Okay. Oh, hang on, just one thing. I just saw it at the last second. I haven't got the armor plates, so let's just craft them. Oh, and the power gloves. I always forget about stuff like that because they're at the bottom of the list. Okay, so carry on back, and then let's just sift through what we need. So on the suit. And then the power gloves, put on gloves. And we should be alright. Bit of a colour mismatch as far as the suit panels, but still.
Alright, Sam. Take care of her. And don't worry, she won't go necro. Millingen's special. Be funny if these Ha of ours ended up being the key to saving us all.
Okay, it just occurred to me I didn't plan for Mama. That was sloppy of me. I knew I was carrying a body and I didn't think to prepare for it. So we're going to do it this way. We're going to have... Alright. We are going to put all the cargo that's currently on my back on the carrier. There we go. And we've got the strand. Let's just wrap it all up. And then I can carry Mama.
Let's get a move on.
I don't know why it feels wrong that we carry her twice. It's like, I know we've got to carry her essentially as far as... she couldn't make it on her own. But it somehow feels wrong that we're doing it twice. Do you know what I mean? It's like, let the poor woman rest. But... I don't know, maybe that's just me. Okay, so we're just making our way up here. We're going to go to that zip line, and it will take us all the way up to that one up there that isn't out of the draw distance right now. I'm actually curious when it'll pop in frame. Should be soon. 350 meters away, so it's got to be popping up any second now. Oh, mine's here. Where are you? I was going to say, please don't say someone's dismantled it. So yeah, I would argue that someone did a big favour for me by placing it up there. If you're in a world and someone does this for you, just stop, drop them some likes, because it's not like this journey up this mountain is horrendous, but you don't want to climb it if you don't have to, so yeah, drop some likes for them. I'd like to think I'm doing someone a solid as well with my zipline. Yeah, you can see how many have been dropped here. Yeah, 36,000 for a zipline's high. There we go. Alright. So Heartman's lab is pretty much just over the horizon. It's a very short trip, this one. I'm actually curious if there's anything that'll just help me as far as any structures that are around. I mean, we can see this jump ramp, but that's not particularly helpful. And here it is, Heartman's lab.
Stands a shadow of a man shaped just like me. My curiosity keeps me confused.
And the music's going to die in a second now.
Stand here on my own.
Maybe not.
Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. All clear. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
And with the rain I don't accept, wash away my sins.
You know, I do laugh at this point when I'm actually staying quiet just to listen to the song, and I'm thinking to myself, YouTube's just going to be really going on at me. I know I go on about it as if I've got like 10 million subs or something ridiculous, but I like the fact that I've got a clean record on YouTube, or mostly clean. Like I've got maybe one or two little flags, like from when I started.
And I'm emotionally impaired.
This isn't the way to go, by the way, I'm taking a little detour.
When I look at you,
This could stop the music, I don't know. Just thought I'd take a dip. Yeah, sorry to cut the music. I thought while we're here, we'll just have a quick dip. The jacuzzi with a view was constructed in accordance with Heartman's wishes. The water is infused with a diverse range of compounds which are not only beneficial to the body, but are also said to restore stamina and warm the heart and soul. Okay, so give me a few seconds to have a dip, and then we will stand up because we've got things to do. Alright, sadly Sam, that's it. I didn't even do a little song for you. Probably one of the shortest dips I've had in one of these things. Oh, the music kicked back in, that's cool.
and I'm trying to keep these bones inside my skin. But my body's in the hole my shadow digs. As I struggle to maintain my position.
Alright, make delivery.
Delivery complete. Displaying performance evaluation.
Might get a few points docked off for getting here and then just going for a dip. No, I got S rank still. Heartman doesn't care. He's like, go on have a dip in my pool. Or my spa.
Request to join UCA. Registered. Awaiting Cupid connection.
Yeah, it would have been a bit insulting if Heartman had said, no, I won't think about it. I do wish there was a piece of data that would elaborate why he floats when the Cupid turns on. I'm not sure if it was explained. Alright, only a small area of Chiral network coverage, but Heartman's lab is now on the Chiral network. We can now construct thermal pads. Relatively useful.
Please proceed into the facility with the cadaver.
Alright, a bit cold.
Good work.
Well, you certainly caught me with my pants down. Glad you could make it, Sam. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to alarm you, but I am what I am. Ah, please lay her down there. Still no sign of them.
You know your heart stops beating.
It stops every 21 minutes. I spend 3 minutes on the beach, and then return. 60 deaths and 60 resurrections per day. 60 opportunities to search the beach for my departed family. This is how I live. This is my life. So, while you've traveled to and from the sea an impressive number of times, my beach count is a little higher. 218,549. I see myself in that crater. My wife and my child. It's like looking at the shape of my heart. The doctors called it myocardial cordiphomia. Mine is an especially unusual case. I have pictures. Care to see Heartman's heart-shaped heart? No, you really should. It doesn't run in the family. You know, I never came to terms with their loss. In the days that followed, I became obsessed with an idea that the beach is real and they are on it. I would induce cardiac arrest, 3 minutes at a time, and search for them, day after day after day.
Also, you could say goodbye.
Quite the opposite. It is said that everyone's beach is different. So what if everyone's afterlife is different too? I find the thought terrifying, spending eternity alone, which is why I decided to find my family and make sure to move on with them.
You mean die with them?
If death would see us reunited, then yes. But the repeated cardiac arrests took their toll on my heart. The muscle gradually deformed. And after a while, they started calling me the beach scientist. Heartman. I'm glad we could have this conversation. Oh. A body that doesn't necrotize. No sign of decomposition. It's as if she were still alive. The perfect mummy. An impeccable corpse.
What's wrong?
Where's the other thing you were supposed to bring? Ah, found it. Behold.
Wait, dead man?
It appears to be an umbilical cord. Human by the looks of it, I think. But this was no ordinary conduit between fetus and placenta. It looks more like a BT's tether. And this was Mama's? Yes. A body that doesn't necrotize and an umbilical cord connected to the beach. These are remarkable discoveries, Sam. Enough to set my sore heart racing.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
I apologize if our conversation gets cut short. I must go back to the beach and look for my wife and child. One person, one beach. That's the rule. But I'm the exception. My beach is connected to others, as if it were the beneficiary of a coronary bypass. Maybe this twisted heart of mine made it possible. All I know is that I will find them. even if my every visit raises new questions. I'll have my answers one day. One day.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
The battlefields. The endless wars you found yourself trapped in. Why do World War era soldiers wander the beach a century after they fell? Normally the souls of the dead move on. The beach is just a corridor, a place through which they pass on the way to the other side. But if regret, resentment, a fervent desire to remain, if these feelings are powerful enough, they may give rise to an altogether different beach, a collective purgatory for an army of the damned. Clifford Unger. His misery and hatred, combined with your BB acting as some sort of catalyst, have brought these battlefields to our world.
2 minutes to cardiac arrest. Please proceed to a safe location.
It's just a theory.
You think Higgs is pulling the strings? Pulling all their strings?
Ensure you are in a stable position.
I don't know. But evidence does suggest that Higgs brought them here.
1 minute remaining. Please hold on to something secure.
Oh, before I forget, I have a favor to ask.
Activating lab security measures.
Could you just relax until I come back? Time stops on the beach, but not in the scene. Rest assured, it'll only feel like 3 minutes to you. We'll continue this shortly.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, so unfortunately my face cam's going to be in the way for this bit. Essentially, it's just a chance to have a little nosy around. So we can have a look at Heartman's AED. I didn't actually mean to click on that. It's a very weird section where you're in first person. The art monitor, Guardian of Life. We just get cheap likes off Heartman. Mama's corpse. Or Mama's remains. BT model, artist's impression, sighting 1. Gotta admit, they do look creepier like that. Whale skeleton. Not much better. Oh, my battery's charged. What have we got on the desk here? Anything I can nosy at. Ooh. Daddy as drawn by his kid daughter. Okay. BT model, artist impression sighting 2. We've got 1 minute 40 on the clock, by the way. I'm covering it up a little. Ordovician period or recover from tar belt. I'm trying to get as much as I can. BT illustration, artist impression sighting 3. BT apparition, artist impression. Carol crystal, immediate post Death Stranding period. Ooh, can I get that one? There we go. Cryptobiotes discovered immediately after the Stranding. Unknown ore recovered from the void out crater. We've got 51 seconds. Right, I'm skipping that. There's a photo up there. Oh, we've got a Nenadroid Jumbo Ludens. I'm sure there's something higher up. Maybe not. We'll have to be dead centre of this. Antique record player. I love that just chills in the background. Photo of the beach immediately post Stranding. What else we got? Is there a photo up there? Nope. Come on, let me get that photo. There we go. Heartman's daughter. 15 seconds. We got a family photo. I want that. Family portrait from back in the day. And I think that's about all I'm getting. 5 seconds.
Administering shock. Stand clear.
No luck. Visit 218,550. Oh, sorry. Where were we? I may be used to the 21-minute cycle, but for a first-time face-to-face meeting, there's just too much to cover in one go-around.
Can't be easy living like this.
Yes. And no. Now that I'm acclimated to it, it isn't especially, onerous. Defecation, pollution, nutrition. Most of life's basic functions fit rather easily into a 21-minute time slot. Sleep is the tricky one. And intercourse, I suppose. Verbal or physical. Not that someone in my position has to worry much about either. Do you read, Sam? Listen to music. Watch films? You know, I keep busy. I have a collection of music, television shows, some very interesting short films, and stories. Everything consumable within a 21-minute window. All from before the Death Stranding, of course. But honestly, the 21 minutes I spend here, all downtime, nothing more. Time spent waiting to go back to the search. My body may be present, but my soul is on the beach. I'm already dead.
I know that feeling. Lost my family in an accident.
Well, I never expected you to open up to me. As it happens, I've read about your circumstances. I lost my family in an accident, too. I was in the ICU having heart surgery, out of town, in the city. When it was clear that I was going to pull through, my wife took my daughter back to the house to collect some things for me. And then they were caught in the void outs. The city and the hospital were spared the worst, but the shockwave knocked out the power and my life support. I woke up on the beach. The people who died in the two void outs were there. What happened? What's going on? I saw my wife and my daughter in the procession. Hey! It's me! Where are you going? Wait! Don't leave without me! No! Don't go! Please, don't go! The ICU's backup generator kicked in, and I was brought back to life by the defibrillator. Exactly 21 minutes after my heart had stopped. And that was the last time I saw my family. It's my damned heart's fault that we were torn apart. But it's also the reason I'll see them again someday. It defines me. I am Heartman. Ever since, I've walked the beaches of others. I follow my family's footsteps for a while, and when I get tired, I return here to continue my research. It's funny though, even when my heart stops, the pain lingers. You have any family photographs, Sam? Pity.
5 minutes to cardiac arrest.
You mind telling me what I'm doing here before you go back to the beach?
Oh, of course. There's a Prepperone station in this area. Our scientists stationed there are researching material from before the Death Stranding.
What kind of material?
The Earth has a long memory. It's trying to tell a story, one that goes back to the very beginning, one that not even the Death Stranding could erase. The scientists are all colleagues of mine from the earlier expedition. I'd like you to bring them onto the chiral network. Amelie proposed we establish our research posts along this belt. Despite a worldwide search, this is the only area known to contain fossils from the late Cretaceous period, when the dinosaurs died out. The assumption being that the last ones lived here, and here alone. You see, hiding in the Earth then are memories of a major mass extinction. Clues that could tell us how to survive our predicament. Certainly, that was Amelie's hope as part of the advanced team when she assigned our backup team here. The past informs the present and aids us in building the future. She was careful to impress that upon us before she went west.
3 minutes to cardiac arrest.
Oh, shut up. I'm putting you on mute. Sometime later, we began to observe unusual activity in the tar belts outside Edgenot City. Vast quantities of tar began surfacing, spreading, consuming many of my colleagues, as well as a chiral way station. The whole incident defied explanation.
You think Higgs is to blame?
I don't know, but we needed that way station. It was essential to expanding the chiral network westward. That's why I'm asking you for your help in building a new one. It won't be much given the handful of equipment we've managed to scrape together. Nothing like the knot cities, that's for sure. But a knot is still a knot. Sam, I want you to use the Cupid to put the scientists on the network, then go to Amelie. Afterwards, we can get back to the important job of researching the deaths.
Don't worry about him, Sam. The air mat floor absorbs the impact. I'll unlock the door for you.
Okay, that again, that just adds to the bizarre nature of the game.
You can grab the order at a delivery terminal.
Okay, for some reason when you do this order, it decides, right, we're going to just dump all of your stuff. I don't know why. So let me just, well, to be honest, right, I said I was going to do some inventory management then. I'm not. have a sit down, Sam. You've just been sitting listening to Heartman all that time. Sit down again. So, yeah, we've just listened to him a lot, and this is a bumper recording for what I intended. So, I think I know I'm going to split it. But yeah, next episode, we're going to do the first, not, if you like, the next port of call. I believe that will be the geologist. After that, we've got 2 more to do before returning here. So, yeah, we're getting to the end game. Now, I'm just going to speak about that briefly. My plan is that I'm going to connect all of the knots up. And then before we head west, I'm going to do a little bit of silent prep work for the end. Because I feel it's... You ever feel like that? That sometimes it's worth just thinking ahead when you replay a game? I'm going to do that, and then I will explain as I am replaying it at the end what I did. That way you can do it yourselves. But yeah, I want to just do that quietly off camera. So yeah, there might be a little bit of a weird gap where suddenly a lot of stuff has been done. But yeah, that's for another day. So in the meantime, 3 more prep stations to do, and then we've got 1 big delivery. So we're getting to the end game. Alright folks, thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Until then, this has been Josh from JJ's Productions. See you next time for more Death Stranding. Bye for now.